What's going on, YouTube? Been a while since I made a video. Figured I'm out here, I might as well go ahead and make one, huh? I got my frame all boxed in. I don't know, it's black and it's dark and it's nighttime, so hopefully you can see that. But I got a light there, hopefully. Yeah, you can see I boxed it in. That's a 1/4-inch steel. And yep, I bent it around that curb too there, you see. I heated that up with this propane torch right here. That was all I had. It's just a regular propane torch, or just a regular propane bottle like you use on the little grills. And then just a torch in. That was all I had, but I made do with it. I took in I don't know if y'all can see that bend right there. But this is 3 pieces. That's one right there, and then that middle one. And that middle one, I took and put it in the vise, and I heated it up, and I pounded over just a little bit. Cause it's just, it's corded steel. It's real tough to work with. But I got it over enough to where I could weld this on and get like an L welded out of that, you know what I mean? Enough where I could heat it up again after it's welded on and pound it the rest of the way in shape. And after I got it, like I said, pounded on the top in shape, the bottom goes in. Like the top, that rounds out, the bottom rounds in. So the bottom, after the top was welded, and then the side, I went to the bottom and I heated that up and I pounded that in. And then I welded that up. So yeah, that's a lot of pounding right there. A lot of heat and a lot of pounding, but I don't know, this is 1/4-inch steel, so it don't really matter. I got that hot with that. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't get it too hot. It wasn't no acetylene torch or anything. I just, like I said, just that little propane bottle. So that's probably why it took me so long to work it. But I got it, YouTube. Sometimes you just got to make do with what you got. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'll try to show you with this light, but I still got to do some sanding because when I started working the bottom, I ended up getting some mud on the top trying to fill these corners. I ended up getting mud on my finished work up here. Yeah, see right there is a prime example. And I tried to scrape most of that mud off, but when I scraped it off, it left that right there. So I'll just sand that off real fast, you know what I mean? And then this ain't my final prime. This is just primed and epoxy right now. I'm going to go over this afterwards with the chassis saver. Then later on someday when I got the clear out, I'll clear it because as you can see, the frame's cleared. That's got dust all over it, but you can see it's cleared. But I'll clear it later to match the rest of the frame. But anyways, I mean, that's 3 pieces. Like this is all welded in right there. And then right there, I had to weld that piece in, and I had to bend it around that corner. Hopefully you can see that. See if I can get this light angled in. Oh, I guess it was probably best right there. Yep. Bent that in. Got it all welded on. But I just got and my gun, it wouldn't hit the ground, so the bottom ain't got no primer on it, YouTube. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to, I had to put more paint in the cup to do the bottom. I only mixed up 2 ounces, because that was all I needed. But when you only got 2 ounces in the cup and you're laying down with just like, you know what I mean, there's only like, what, a 1.5 foot distance there. My gun won't, I don't have one of them guns I can flip upside down, you know what I'm saying? So, yep. But that's alright. I still got a little bit more mud work or body work anyways on here to knock out. And y'all ever put any filler on your frames, I'm pretty sure it's probably something not recommended, you know what I mean? This is mostly a show car, but I did this for strength to add, you know what I mean? When I put the LS swap in this, I wanted some strength to the box these frame in. Plus, I already had the sheet metal laying around. I got it free, and I had nothing else to do. You know what I mean? I probably got stuff to do. I got my car to sand, but you know what I'm saying? You got the metal there. You're already welding, And that's another thing. I boxed in my, let me try to move that for you. Boxed in my, or not boxed in. I put them washers in for my body mounts. Finally welded them in. I'll show you my welds. There's a few of them, that ain't prettiest, but I may do. They're gonna hold, YouTube. They're gonna hold, YouTube. There's good penetration there. I mean, I already wire wheeled all that down, so you ain't gonna see it. But it's starting to already. Looks like flash rust. It's been a couple weeks, a week since I've messed with that. But I got them in. Let me see. Show you. It just sits right in there. That's flush. I don't even know if I'm gonna grind them down. I was gonna grind them down, make it look all pretty, but then I don't even know if I care, because I think I'm just gonna wire wheel that down again and prime it and chassis saver it, and like I said, later on I'll blend that in with some clear and it'll be all good. I did this side too. Got that one all done. They're both flush. I don't know if y'all seen, this is what these frames look like to start with. And this is what I was talking about, how it's in. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh yeah, I'll put that right by the phone. See how it curves in right there? Then it curves out up there. Top curves out and the bottom curves in. See, that's what I'm talking about when I welded. I had to heat it up and pound it around that top as I got it hot. And then the bottom, I had to heat it up and pound it around that curve. See, I'll show you. See what I'm saying? Pound it around that curve on the bottom, and then the top, pound it around that curve. Yep, I got it. And then to weld this is such thick steel, I had to, I'll show you more. Alright. To weld this, I had to make a valley in between the frame and the 1/4 inch steel, by taking the 1/4 inch steel and taking my belt sander and grinding it down, just, like a ramp on the back side of this, you know what I'm saying? Just grinding it down enough so I got something to fill there with my, my weld. And I started on one end and I just worked my way the whole way. And I used that heat. I didn't stop at all. I kept that heat for my advantage, because this is thick steel, you know what I mean? Normally, body panel, you don't want that heat, but this thick steel, you want to use that for your advantage. So I just I ran with it. I got it hot, and I just, I laid them beads all the way. And I did, the welders recommended triple laps, or double laps, but I went triple. I went one down this way, one on the side of it, and then one on this side of it, just to make sure, because like I said, I'm new to welding. I just want to make sure they hold. Don't get me wrong, I trust my welds, but I ain't no fabricator, you know what I'm saying? So I went triple laps, so I got it good. And plus, I only had the 023 wire in my welder, and it recommended the 03 or the .30 wire for the 1/4 inch steel. So, I had to make do with that. And but I had my welder on full blast, and I just turned the wire feed way down, and I just ran with it. But I got it hot. Like I said, I sat and pounded on that steel to get it to go around when it was hot, and that metal ain't budging. I took a sludge hammer to pound on that steel to get it to bend. And none of them welds cracked, didn't break, nothing. So I know that good. The only thing I'm worried about is the filler I got on here. So any of y'all ever put filler on the frame, I know it's not recommended, but, like I said, not only is this for horsepower, for the LS swap, I just wanted to, that nice look, you know what I'm saying? Plus I'm a body guy, you know what I'm saying? I just like, gosh, I can make this look good, you know what I mean? So I put that on there anyways, but then I'm thinking the whole time, gosh, I hope this don't crack, you know what I'm saying? So any of y'all ever put any filler on a frame, you know what I mean? Let me know. There ain't much there, don't get me wrong. Not like I just, layered on filler, but, there's spots that's bare metal that primer went over, you know what I mean? That's not all filler. But there is filler on there, so let me know what any of y'all actually had filler on your frames for over time. Let me know what happened. It's just gonna be street use. But once in a while, I might give it that gas. Let me know what y'all think. Like I said, it's got a little bit touching up to do. I'm gonna guide coat that out. Get any of that mud that I got on there, like more or less overspray mud, we'll say, on there from the bottom, and then later on I'll go ahead and spray that bottom when I got a fuller cup, you know what I'm saying? But yep, it almost looks like the factory did it, YouTube. I wish you could hear to see it. Yep. I was gonna box that little area right there in, but then I figured, you know what, that'll make a great little slot right there for my lines to run through. I might run my gas lines on the outside, but then I was thinking I could run them on the inside too, so I don't know. Either way, that's stronger than what it was, I promise you on that. But yep. And then I'm gonna try to get me some steel and maybe box in some other areas, but mainly I don't think I'll probably even mess much around here other than maybe right there. I might put some of that DOM tubing. I was seeing that, I was looking up on them roll cages, they were using that DOM tubing for roll cages, so I was thinking, you know, if it's strong enough for roll cages, maybe that's what they're using for frame fabrication. So if any of y'all know what kind of tubing, because I want to tube this out like Mr. Get It In There did. So any of y'all ain't watching Mr. Get It In There's videos, go check them out. It's Mr. Get It In There. He's doing a lot to his GBODY over there, but he's giving me some motivation on bracing in this back here. I'm going to brace it in, and when I do, I think I'm going to mount it in a spot where I could use it, that brace for my mount for my coilovers. I'm thinking of getting some QA1 coilovers. But I'll use that brace at the same time to strengthen that up. And the frame notch, I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I mean, if I do, I definitely ain't going to be using my welder. Because after doing that steel, I can tell my welder definitely ain't like, I mean, I'm not saying it ain't strong enough, but as far as safety issue, I'm going to wait till I get to the school. And I mean, if I do go that route, I'm going to wait until I got a bigger welder for that just because of safety. This is just strengthening it in. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when I hit that with a hammer, it ain't break nothing. So, I mean, I know it's strong, but I still ain't going to even, you know what I mean? No, I ain't going to even try it with my frame notch. I'll wait until I get a bigger welder and I'll do my frame notch for that, because I do have the steel for my frame notch that I got, but we got a bigger miller at school. It's like a 240. I'm going to use that one. I just got the Lincoln 180. But this 180 is working, don't get me wrong. It's just there's a lot of tricks to get it to work, you know, versus the 240. That's just going to melt it right in. But someday, hopefully, I'll get me a TIG welder, you know what I mean? I'd love to get into TIG welding. Them welds look nice, you know what I'm saying? Nice and clean, and, I mean, you ain't even need to put filler over them. They just look good. But that's someday on the list. Like I said, that's all just learning now. But this is what I got left. I just got to box in this side. And then I'm going to fill that in. And then like I said, I got them done. And then I got to mess with this rear end. I got the gears out though, so I don't know. I'm probably just gonna throw them gears in for now so I can move it around. But later on, I'll be getting that 4.9 inch. You know, I'm pretty positive that's the route I'll be going, is that 4.9 inch. I'm gonna probably get a complete. They got a complete that's seen. I don't know if any of y'all ever got that complete. They got on eBay. It's a certain place. If you type in 4.9 inch GBODY rear end, it's like $1,800 and some bucks. But I seen a few people on GBODY forum all went with them too. I think it was a Quick Performance or something. Yeah, Quick Performance is what it is. Quick Performance 4.9 inch, but they're made to fit in a GBODY. But you can get it complete with your gear ratio. It's like 31 spine something, but they want $1,800 for that, so I'm gonna probably go that route. But yeah, I'll be saving up for that one for sure. But for now, I just need something to roll it around with so I can put my car on there, because I ain't got much room in my garage, you know what I'm saying? So I want to get it off of that frame and onto this frame. So I'm just going to put that in there, box this in, and then I'm going to try to get my gas lines and my brake lines done so I don't have to worry about hopping underneath here. And then I'm going to lift that up and get it ready to put on here. And then when I lift that up, I'm going to undercoat that whole bottom. I'll have it on bricks, so I'll only be able to undercoat section and then move the bricks back and then undercoat where the bricks were, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you got to make do what you got to do. I was going to use the lift at school, but now I don't have that no more since, you know, it's summer, so I'm just going to make do right here. Yep. But yep, I got this whole side of the car blocked out pretty much. I mean, this is all good. That's ready to go. But Don't get me wrong, I got a lot of touching up to do, YouTube, but I'm moving along. I'm making do with what spare time I got, you know what I'm saying? But yep, I thought I'd show you all that. That's pretty much all I got going on. I'm just boxing these frames and I'll show you some of the tools I used, I guess. Oh yeah, and then I'll tell you how I did that as far as coating for corrosion. I taped off the whole backside of each plate, you know what I mean? Or I did one plate at a time. Like I taped off this whole backside with tape. It had like a 1/2 inch, perimeter around there with tape, and then I epoxy primered that whole thing. Then when I welded it on, I pulled that tape off. That way, when I welded it on, there was no epoxy primer where I was welding in the weld zone, but all the rest was already primed because it's kind of hard to get back in there with all the paint. So I just had that little perimeter to get, and then after I got it welded on, that perimeter, that perimeter that was left, I just took a toothbrush and I cut it off so it was just the end, and I taped that around a wire that I could bend, and I got in there, and I took that toothbrush and I dipped it in the epoxy primer, and I got all them seams real good. Then I went and welded this side on, but I primed the whole thing same way. I taped off, primed it, and then peeled tape off, and then I got it all good like that. Then all I got left is this piece, but this piece I could get from in here and underneath, you know what I mean? So that's all that's left. It needs to be, corrosion protection on the inside. I'll epoxy that. And then afterwards, just for double protection to make sure I didn't get it, got it all, I'm going to use this because this is what I had left over from when I did my frame. I don't know if any of y'all ever used it, but it's an internal frame coating from Eastwood. And it uses, let's see, I don't know if I got that laying around. Oh yeah, it uses this stuff right here. This is a little cap. That's a little hose that goes right on that cap. And see if you can see that. Internal frame coating. But that little hose goes right on there, and you just shove it down a hole all the way down to there, and then when you pull on the trigger, you pull it back, and as you pull it back, it just sprays and coats the whole inside of the frame. You know what I mean? And it comes out all green. As you can see, it's a green coating, so anywhere I see green, I'll have to try to get in there with some black primer so you don't see it. But I already coated the whole inside of my frame in that, but that's what I'm going to use just for double protection to make sure anywhere that toothbrush didn't get, that'll make sure I got, you know what I mean? Just to make sure it's corrosion protected, you know what I'm saying? But yep, other than that, that's how I got it protected with corrosion. Some of the tools I use, like this is what I use to grind down a weld. It's just like a high polishing sander, old one, but it's got a 24 grit grinding disc, just like 24 grit. Pretty abrasive. Yeah. .24 grit. Yeah, those will knock your welds down real fast. And then, like I said, that's the torch I use, just a regular old torch. Take you a long time settling. The one we had at school bend metal real fast. This one here, you'd be, yeah, you'd be in for it. But I got it, you two. And then just a regular DA sander and some sandpaper and paint stick and some sanding, some 80 grit and 180 grit. I don't even really use a Durablock. I just use the paint stick for sanding it out. And then some guide coat, Now that I got black on there, I'll have to switch to the powder guide coat, but, yeah. And then this is what I use for filler over all my welds. Normally I use the Duraglass, but this time I got the Everglass. Short strand, and then anything left, get the 3M Platinum Plus. And then this is the epoxy primer I use. Let's see here. I don't have that jug in here, but it's House of Colors KD 3001 with the KD 3000 hardener. Yep, it's a black epoxy primer, surface or sealer, whatever you mix it to. started working on my header panel. I got that partway blocked out. A few spots. For the most part, that's good. I don't know if I showed you up. This is the guide coat I had to get for black. Just a blackjack guide coat, right? But I like this stuff because, like I said, all you do is just see, it's just got holes in it, just a pad. Like $30 for this thing off of eBay. That's all you get on there is that little bit, but that's enough to get white in that black. And then when you sand, see how that's the light area, you know what I'm saying? That's just an example. That's not a low, but I mean, that's just because I probably didn't get guide coat there. But like areas like that will be your, areas you got to sand too. Those will be your, you'll sand around until you get to the level with that, until everything's all one color, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that is probably just some grease spot maybe. Yep, that's guide coating, more or less. You're just gonna, like I said, sand until you sand around. You're gonna first thing I'll do is I'll just fill out until I find a high spot. And then when I find a high spot, that's where I start sanding first. And I'll just start sanding out. And then any spot that'll be low, you know what I mean, that you're trying to sand, sand to, will be like a different color, you know what I'm saying? You'll have like little circles out in there, you know what I'm saying? Well, them circles you don't want to sit and dig in. You're going to sit and sand everything around that circle until all that gets to that circle's height. You know what I'm saying? So everything is all one color, nice and smooth, level. Because, to get to them heights, everything's going to be level. Or unless you hit metal first. But if you hit metal first, you can't go no lower because that's already height, you know what I'm saying? Metal is height. The only thing you could do then is think of, either shrinking that out, which, most of the time would be, already a too late decision. But I guess it's never too late. Or you could just, fill around that and feather it up to it. But so if you hit metal, that's when you got to stop and determine what the next situation will be. But if you don't hit metal, you could sand all around them islands or circles until everything becomes level and one. You know what I'm saying? That's just more or less reading the guide coat. I'll try to get a video of it. One day I had one, but the damn camera broke, or the battery on the camera or phone, I guess I shouldn't say camera, the phone started blinking on me, so I went to grab it, and then it fell down, and then the video shut off halfway through, so I just gave up on it. But I'll try to get one for you on YouTube. I still got half of this car left to block out, plus I got plenty more to sand to show you some of y'all how to read the guide code anyways. I don't want to make no long one, but I'll just make a quick short one on how I do my sanding. It's not really how to, it's just how I do it. You guys could take it from there. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm only like a year into this, so. But so far, all my work comes out feeling pretty straight and level. So I'm doing all right, YouTube. Doing all right. But I figured I'd show you all that. Got some new top the other day, stainless steel for my counters. Kind of like that. Yep. These are the roll-lock discs I use to grind down stuff. The Cubitron 3M. Little cut-off disc. But yep, YouTube, I just figured I'd show you all, it's been a while since I made a video, show you all how I boxed in my frame. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas on how to do it, I guess. Next time when I get to this side, I'll show you when it's in metal and show you the welds and all that. Like I said, I've been busy, I haven't got around to making videos, but today I figured I'd make one. Alright, YouTube.